Howdy folks, Frankie Day back again on YouTube. I have another finished build I've done. I've done this about 3 years ago. This is a new kit by Revell. I take that back, it wasn't 3 years ago. Matter of fact, I built it a year ago, last year. This is their new 148 scale PV-1 Ventura patrol bomber. Distant cousins to the Lockheed Hudson and the Lodestar and the Electra. It's a scale of 148. It's a beautiful model, and there's a lot of aftermarket parts out there available for this kit. And there's pros and cons of the kit itself. Most it's pro, and just about a half of 1% just cons. On the kit in general, the fits of parts are excellent. Just a minimal of filler that you need to fill in the seams. The kit practically builds itself. Very highly detailed. It has a detailed Bendix dorsal turret. The cockpit is very detailed. There's no photo etch parts in this kit, though. Like I said before, there's a lot of aftermarket parts out there in photo etch, resin. We even got a decal, I heard, they got out of it too, of the octopus itself. Before I show the model, I could tell the history of this plane a little bit. This I know pretty much about. Like I said, this is a distant cousin from the Lockheed Electra. The Lockheed Electra was a very successful airplane back in 1933. It was first designed by Lockheed. Howard Hughes bought the first model, and it's splintered in all aluminum finish with no markings at all, just registration numbers. During the outbreak of hostilities in Europe, with Nazi Germany and England going at it, we had the Lend-Lease program, and the Lockheed Hudson bombers fit the bill. And they were used as coastal command operations for the English. They carry a pretty good sized bomb load. And they're a pretty good, well-built aircraft. A little slow, but they're pretty good aircraft for their day. And the Navy adopted the Lockheed Harpoon, the PV-1 Ventura, and they were more or less used as patrol bombers, the mainstay, until after the Second World War was over. Then most of these bombers were in the hands of collectors or the scrap heap. This is here. I'd like to produce the model. This is the Revell 148 scale PV-1 Ventura. It's a pretty good size airplane for 148 scale, almost the size of the B-25 Mitchell. The aircraft was painted with non-speculative sea blue and intermediate blue on the sides, with all white undersides. The bomb bay is in open position. Looks like it has 100-pound bombs underneath there. Landing gear bays is highly detailed. We get a little closer. You're going to see the detail of the bomb bay a little bit. In the landing gear, I picked out the treads by dry brushing light gray over hot rod primer gray. And here's a top view of it. Took me about 2 months to build this. All airbrush, and I used variable washers on it. I used gray wash and mixed blues with it too. So blues will melt with the gray, and it gives you the wash effect, as you can see on here. Now, the only con on this kit is this octopus insignia on here. Now, this octopus is a decal, and I kid you not, it's a pain in the duff. There are some challenging modelers out there that made a template of the octopus itself using the decal as a template, and they more or less made a masking of it using decal paper. And some of them just elected by hand brushing it. But now I hear the companies out there, that there's a company out there, probably Microscale or something out there, or scale model decals. I don't know. They got so much out here in the modeling community nowadays that I just can't keep up. But all due rest and aside, that there's a decal already released for this airplane. But it's a very hard, difficult part about the whole aircraft was that decal. Because believe you me, you had to put a lot of decal set in there, and I put a little bit of Joy soap in there like that in the water, so the decal will slide a lot more easier around the plane. But once you get the octopus decal formed on there, it pretty much fills the bill of the airplane. But it took me almost an hour and a half to put that decal on there. Boy, I tell you, I was about ready to fudge out on it, but I don't give up that easy. So, but $33 for an airplane like this, and this scale, you can't be beat. I mean, I'd say if we went a scale, I'd give this airplane a 9. There's no fit issues in the kit at all. I had none whatsoever. All the clear parts fit on excellent. I use 5-minute epoxy by joining my clear parts on there. Don't use ACC glue, guys, or Cryolite, where you call it, because it'll fog your plastic. And you use polyurethane, and in time it'll glaze the plastic and fog the same thing, especially in clear parts. You use Elmer's glue. I use tacky glue. They got clear plastic cement adhesives in local hobby shops and near your neck of the woods. But I always use 5-minute epoxy. Just use it sparingly, not just enough to coat the edges so that it fits to the fuselage. Let it dry 5 minutes, it's there. You can pick up the cockpit, shake the plane a couple times, it won't fall off. So the tip right there I can show you. The windows were all masked off using masking tape because you had a two-tone camouflage on here, plus they had to do weathering. So that's one method that you got to do in a model like this, instead of go ahead pre-painting around your windows, and go ahead and put your windows in like I'm doing on the Albatross. All models built different, and they're challenging all due respects. This model here is a very beautiful airplane. I enjoy it. No hair pulling at all. Just that decal is it. That's all there is, the decal. And a lot of models. This kit is pretty well scares away a lot of model builders because of that problem of that decal right there. But I can see why. You know, it's just all that tedious moving around just to get that octopus formed on top of the fuselage. And there's a star and bar on the starboard side of the octopus. The octopus comes in 3 sections. So it's 3 pieces a decal. So you really gotta really stay with it and work with it, guys. Don't give up. Use plenty of water. Decal set where there is. Don't use no salt, because it'll shrink that decal up and it'll form like paint and it's ruined. So you got to make sure that the whole decal is completely positioned correctly, and it looks good with 2 thumbs up. You're good to go. Then blot with a cloth. After that, go ahead and put your decal salt on it. This is what I use for decal solvent. It's Walthers. You get this in the railroad department, HO railroad kits and stuff like that. This stuff's the best stuff in the world. Puts microset to shame. Once you put this stuff on, leave it alone. Let it do its thing. Because that decal will crinkle up real good, and pretty soon as it dries, it'll form over as it was painted on. Very excellent. Well, folks, the old hands of time is telling me to get off here. I got a few seconds to go before I close off. I'd like to thank everybody once again for your comments, and I'll do the best I can to do the same for you. And please subscribe, and make God bless. I got another special build video coming up for you all. And you take care, Alex, my friend, and take your medication, and leave up the Coca-Cola and the coffee. Drink cranberry juice. It'll get you all squared away, shipmate. Take care. Anyway, fellas, thank you very much. Please subscribe, and may God bless. And we'll see you again. Bye now.